Put a 1 in the chat if you agree. It seems like restaurants are charging more and more every year, it seems, for their food, but the quality's not getting that much better. I don't know what it is, and then it seems like some of the restaurants, suspiciously, serve some of the same food. Like, do Fazoli's and Olive Garden have a thing going where they serve the same breadsticks? What is going on? And also, the prices are so high. I remember back in my day, you could go out to eat for 2 people, get you an entree, a dessert, and a dadgum cocktail for about 50, 60 bucks with a tip. Now it's $100 minimum. The tides are changing. Something's happening in restaurants.
I've had a sense that lots of restaurants are starting to taste the same. And maybe you too have had a sense that something is amiss. So I wanted to test a hypothesis with my coworkers that you can be served the same exact food.
Can I just get the jalapeno poppers?
From totally different restaurants.
The fried pickles. Can I get the fried pickles?
But made in the same factory, whether you wanted it or not.
Can I get
That's
the
crazy.
fries?
They're buying
Here's the question
same.
behind this test. Are we trapped into eating the same mediocre food from New York to Alaska?
Yeah.
And if so, why? And who's behind it?
All right.
It's cheaper.
That's the mystery we're going to unpack today. To get to the bottom of it, first I went to Harlan, Iowa, woke up at 5 a.m. to talk to a restaurant owner about how they get their food.
I'm Ellen Walsh-Roseman, and I own Milk and Honey.
The thing is, Ellen's restaurant does it differently than most restaurants in 2025. She showed me how she makes something from scratch for French toast. She uses a distributor to get most base ingredients, the milk from a local dairy and the eggs from a local farm, Ellen's. The bread is brioche that the restaurant makes from scratch. From there, the brioche gets baked, cut, dipped in homemade custard, griddled, and served to you, the customer. Good. Or, luckily enough,
Chat, you guys like French
me.
toast?
It's very good.
That looks really good.
It's not just the French toast. Ellen tries to work with as many local producers as possible.
This is our country skillet, and this is the
I would tear
local
that up.
sourdough bread from a bakery in Omaha.
But for many restaurants, sourcing local ingredients like this is getting harder and harder.
So true.
Ellen's distributor is regional and employee-owned. But if you're a restaurant owner, especially in a rural area, you might just have 1 or 2 distributors to choose from. There's a good chance one of them is a company called Sysco.
Sysco. Jeez, Sysco.
And they are suspect number 1 for my deep fried mystery. To hash out that suspicion, I spoke to Austin Frerick, author of the book Barons, who explained the profound way Sysco is shaping the way we eat out.
The innovation of Sysco was that it was the first national company to essentially offer everything a restaurant needs.
Back in the day, someone like Ellen might have one distributor for butter and another for eggs. But Sysco is what's
Bro, I'm old enough. I remember when we had the Swans Man, chat. Y'all remember the Swans Man when they pull up to your crib? Oh, look, it's Mark, the Swans Man. He'd knock on your door, try to sell you some steaks. Man, the good old days.
Goal of making a national player.
That was in 1969. Fast forward to today, and Sysco has grown so much that it really only has 2 other competitors in the national space. Among them, Sysco is the largest, and even a decade ago, controlled an estimated 35% of the market.
Jesus.
And this year, their gross profit hit $15 billion.
God.
The scary thing about Sysco was it didn't become this giant through organic growth, but instead it became a giant through relentless acquisitions that went unchecked.
They've acquired
what
over
they do, bro.
150 companies to become really one of the only national broadline distributors.
That's what a lot of these big companies do. They just acquire until basically they have a monopoly on it.
Farm part. Ellen tries to work with as many local producers as possible, even when it's more expensive. Sysco, on the other hand, operates with the biggest producers at massive scales to eke out savings. Producers that often have some of the most exploitative production models. Sysco gets their berries from companies like Driscoll,
Driscoll's basically took the Nike sweatshop model and applied it to berry production.
and chicken from companies like Tyson.
Tyson's applied a sharecropping model to meat production.
If you used a national distributor, could you get the Omaha sourdough? Could
No.
you get no? And why is that?
So a lot of local distributors or local producers are not able to tap into regional distribution. The volume and production quantities is too high.
Sysco scours the globe for a good deal, and there's reason to be concerned about how they're getting some of those deals.
Seafood is the best example of this. Many providers to Sysco have been accused of engaging in slave labor.
That includes forced Uyghur and North Korean labor in China.
Slave
Basically,
labor?
any dark part of the food system has moved offshore, which makes policing it really, really hard to do.
But Sysco doesn't just source shrimp and strawberries. They have their own line of mass-manufactured frozen foods. Everything from sourdough and brioche to, I learned from researching this, jalapeno poppers, other fried appetizers, and desserts. Frozen food, it turns out, is
Bro, I'd be so mad if I went to Chili's and got the same jalapeno poppers at Applebee's and the same one at the local joint, you know what I mean?
Exploitative supply chains.
in the early 2000s, Sysco was buying jalapeno poppers assembled in Mexico for well below minimum wage and shipped frozen all over the country.
It allows a race to the bottom in terms of labor standards and pay.
So the food we ordered could have come to a distribution center like this, frozen, shipped to restaurants across the country, then dumped into a fryer. And now, the truckers driving those shipments, they're also getting squeezed by Sysco.
Sysco's continuously lobbying year after year to deregulate the trucking industry. And what we've seen since the 1980s is trucking wages are down nearly 40%.
After the food is unloaded,
And that's terrible, dude. Shout out to all the truckers, man. Shout out to all the truckers. People seem to forget how important truckers are. If truckers got off the road for a week, we'd all be starving. We'd be famine-stricken to the point where you're willing to go rob your neighbor because there's nothing at the stores. Truckers are so important, and the fact that they're trying to, number one, allow immigrants to come in and pay them pennies. That's why we're seeing these big wrecks happen in California, because they can't read the signs. It's unsafe, and it doesn't allow truckers to actually have a living wage, which in my opinion is probably one of the most important professions when it comes to just the infrastructure of society. Like, we got to have food, and truckers are the ones that get the food from the farms to the table.
Butter,
So they'll use like a canola oil
shortening or something like that.
Yeah.
And then like their sugar might be like processed sugar, like a high fructose corn syrup kind of thing.
Austin found a story of a Pennsylvania diner whose burgers weren't frying the same on the grill. When the owner investigated, he realized the patties now contained soy protein filler. Sysco and their competitors are flooding restaurants with ultra-processed food like this. Now, you might expect that with a deep-fried cheddar jalapeno pop.
And then we wonder why everybody's fat, dude. Big bag, big bag. We wonder, why is everybody fat? Why is everybody a big bag? What's going on? Because the food is trash. It's not good meat. It's not good food. Like, even if you want to eat healthy now, like, you got to find it from somebody that sources this stuff locally. A lot of people can't afford that. A lot of people don't have the time. I don't even have the time to go to a local butcher to get my meat. Any of you guys doing that? A lot of us just want to be able to go to a restaurant and get a good meal. And I'm paying a lot for it. Nowadays, even at a regular mundane restaurant, I don't know about you, chat, but when I was younger, like going to a restaurant and paying, $20 for a plate of food, I was like, this better be some darn good food. But now $20 is like the standard. And I live in Abilene, Texas, and I go to a local restaurant, it's $22 for some pasta. It's crazy.
Some of that regional wholesale infrastructure, we also see the loss of local businesses, local farms, and a regional food system.
In general, restaurant owners have little recourse when Sysco screws them over. Complaints are rampant about late deliveries, crushed eggs below stacks of boxes, even swapping ingredients without informing restaurants. As the industry continues to consolidate, these issues will only get worse. Sysco already tried to buy their largest competitor, US Foods, but was shut down by the FTC.
God.
Now, Sysco's two largest competitors are signaling they might try to merge. In an environment where the biggest companies aggressively push out competition, makes sense. It also means restaurants will have even less choice than they already do, and farmers will have less bargaining power when selling their food.
The most aggressive, gold standard thing that an antitrust enforcer could do would be to look at some of these deals and say, maybe we went too far. Like, maybe we let Sysco acquire too many companies, and we should unwind some of those and break up Sysco. That's something that we've seen antitrust enforcers take on with past deals like Ticketmaster.
The FTC could also block future acquisitions, and states and federal regulators could scrutinize discount programs that people like Claire and Austin suspect Sysco is using to drive out the competition. But what about my mission to get the same food in entirely different states? We ordered a mix of jalapeno poppers, fried pickles, and funnel cake fries.
Yeah, I want to see this.
In Nebraska, New York, New Jersey, Pennsylvania, and in Alaska. All right, moment of truth. Jalapeno popper.
Looks like the
Never
ones
been
from
to this
Sonic.
restaurant, never been to the city, but it just tastes like something I've had 100 times. In Omaha, I'm pretty sure I got the Sysco brand jalapeno popper, though, to be fair, their main competitor sells almost the same thing. The one that I got in Brooklyn was clearly different than that one and was a little bit better. Here in New Jersey, I ordered funnel cake fries. They seem exactly the same as the ones I got in Omaha.
Those look the
A fellow
exact
producer
same.
also ordered them in Philadelphia and another in Anchorage. They look
Those look the
pretty
exact
similar.
same.
I also ordered some fried pickles, which is what my fellow
Ooh,
producer
God, I
ordered
love
in
fried
Philly.
pickles.
They're clearly different. One is
Chat,
chips,
do you
one
guys
is
like fried
spears,
pickles?
but there's a chance that I got these Sysco pickle spears. Don't get me wrong. You've probably had a frozen Sysco meal and thought it was totally fine. But the point is, in this giant food system, something is being lost. Regional variety, local jobs, local businesses, and just having a unique meal. A meal that's different.
So
we are
true,
always
dude.
interested in stories about how
it's truly sad. And then I think people are waking up. People are starting to realize that this is BS. This is half the reason, like, I like going out to eat, dude, but I haven't been going near as much because I know the food I'm going to get is going to be garbage.
Hell, did Dunkin' Donuts get so expensive? We have this thing in our office where, like, if you have a day where you're running late or something, bring in donuts and then, like, you're good. And I'm running a little late, so I was like, all right, I'll do it. I don't usually run late, but I'll get donuts. So I get to the checkout counter and I'm like, yeah, 2 dozen and a coffee, please. Thinking, like, $1 a donut, $24, $3 coffee, 27 plus tax, $30 max. She rings me up, $45 for this. $45. News to me. Looks like I'll never be late again.
You're telling me I paid for a half sandwich from Panera for $5.99 to go with my soup. $5.99 for this.
Bro, I'm gonna keep it a thou wow chat. I love Panera bread, but half the time I go there, it's hot dog water. It is so bad. The one here in Abilene is like got like 3.2 on Google. It breaks my heart because I love me some Panera bread, but $5 for a half a grilled cheese is crazy work.
We're in a recession. This.
Cold Stone, dude, that's like they do the sizes. These are big back sizes. Big back, like their sizes are like it, love it, want some more of it, or something like that, or like it's so weird. But I bet that was $7.
Good look. This cost $9.
What the good lord.
This cost $9. What? What world are we living in?
Yo, fast food places that are thinking about doing surge prices, I got some news for you. Fast food places in general, y'all better watch your ass. And I have been saying this for a very long time now, but they better watch their goddamn ass. And here's why. Me and my wife, 2 people, right? We go to Taco Bell. Now, don't get me wrong. Sometimes when I go to Taco Bell, I be throwing down. All right, I do. But
Bro, I don't know about y'all, but every time I go to Taco Bell, by the time I get my food out of the bag, it's already cold. The one here in Abilene that we live by is hot dog water. Is so bad. I don't know what it is. Cass and I even went in to eat at the Taco Bell one time. By the time they put the food on our table, it was already cold.
But not all the time. My standard order: a beef chalupa supreme, a Doritos Locos Tacos, no sides, no sides at all. She gets Nacho Bel Grande and some other whatever is going on that month that they're having to move real quick with Fritos and hot Cheetos and all that shit. Whatever Megan Thee Stallion's currently rapping about, that's what my wife gets, right? Plus a drink, a regular meal for 2 people. Last time we went there, $32. $32, okay? Now I do pretty good. It's not like I can't afford the $32, but here's my point. Last time we ate at Cracker Barrel, I got the Uncle Herschel, no, excuse me, I got the Grandma Sampler, which comes with the pancakes, the eggs, the meat, all that shit. Got a coffee, we got a plate of biscuits and gravy. She got, I don't know what she got, but it was banging, the eggs Benny or some shit like that. Plus, she had mimosa. Guess what our bill was? $32. You telling me that I'm gonna pay these at Taco Bell for barely anything, the same as I'm gonna pay people at Cracker Barrel? We had a 5-star waitress, by the way, 5-star waitress, dough on her ankles, that way you know she's good. I'm gonna pay the same for these 2 experiences? I think the not.
I just spent $64 at Panera Bread.
Bruh, this is crazy. $64?
I am disgusted. Okay, now we're gonna listen and we don't judge. Are we still doing that? My family is sick. Everyone's sick except me. My husband's sick, my son is sick, my daughter's sick, okay? And I didn't have time to cook dinner. It's 7 p.m. and I just got home, so I picked up Panera Bread on the way home, okay? And yeah, they're sick and I'm gonna feed them carbs. We're gonna have macaroni and cheese. Everyone wanted one, so we got 4 macaroni and cheese, okay? And we got 4 small French onion soups. That's all we got. $64.
Oh my God.
What in the world? My kid just told me I'm embarrassing him.
My friends watch your TikToks.
Why?
I don't know.
This is my TikTok, not theirs.
I don't know. They watch your...
That's pretty stupid for her to say that. Stupid. But my whole thing is also if you can't afford to go out to eat, don't go out to eat. But then even then, when you want to cook, I think the big predicament that a lot of Americans have right now is they would like to cook nice meals. They would like to cook fresh. They would like to have nice ingredients. But number one, they work. Let's say you have a typical 9 to 5, right? You don't get home till 5 and you want to relax a little bit before you go straight into cooking. Let's say you get and then add a commute after 5. So let's say you get home at 6 and you have to cook. Maybe it takes an hour to cook and clean. And then it takes maybe 15, 20 minutes to eat. So, you're looking at like 7 p.m. before you can actually relax. And then you need to go to bed at like 10 or 11 so you can wake up at 6 a.m. or 7 a.m. to go to work. It's like people don't have that much time, and I think that's the problem, is people don't have a lot of time. And then also, the good food is super expensive. If you guys have ever went to a nice like Whole Foods or Central Market, you'll see some of that stuff. You'll see olive oil that's $15 a bottle. I'm like, God, like $15 for some freaking olive oil. So like the healthy stuff is expensive, not to the point where you're gonna go bankrupt eating this food, because you can buy less of the nutrient dense food, because if you eat things that are good for you, your body will feel full a lot longer. That's like the whole thing of like, if you eat junk food, your body's gonna be hungry in an hour. That's why a lot of people are big bags, because they don't eat good. But I think it's the mix of people don't have the time, and then also it costs a lot of money to eat good food, and then they have to go through, cook it, clean it, and do all these things, and then God forbid they got kids. That's if you're alone. But if you got a family, now you got to cook for your family. Now you got to go pick your kids up. Now you got to go maybe after school program. And it's like people aren't getting paid a proportionate amount to be able to afford nice food and also have time to cook it. They have to work too much. If anybody wants to make a good living now, you have to work 8 to 10 hours per day, 5 days a week. And on the weekends, you're just exhausted, and your kids want to go out, and then you have to go spend time with your family. Like, where do you get the time? I feel like I'm super busy, and I get to make my own schedule, chat. And I work maybe a few hours a day. But I have to work a little bit every day because of the YouTube stuff. Like I post every single day, so I don't really get like a day off unless I deliberately record ahead of time. But even then, like now that we got a baby here, it's a lot of work. Babies are up every 2 hours. They need to feed overnight. Maybe we'll get her down for 3 hours. So I'm up every 3 hours. Cass and I work in shifts. I'm never really getting a lot of like 6 to 7 hour REM sleep where I'm passed out dreaming, snoozing, drooling. I don't get that. And so for people with multiple kids, and then they got to work all the time, but I don't know how people do it. I really don't.
Outrageous. I just had a workout. I just had a... Is it just me, or are these fast food prices outrageous? I just had a workout, went to the park. We have Gymboree later. It's a busy day. Stopping for Chipotle for a quick, easy lunch. I got a cool wrap and an 8-count nugget meal because I want to share his fries and drink his drink for my 1-year-old. It was $18. That's one meal and like another half a meal. That's crazy. It's crazy.
Just in case you don't think we've lost our minds, this cup of soup at Panera was $9.50.
Oh my God.
It makes me...
Right, that's a spit's worth of soup. Bro, I could do that in about 3 gulps. That's gone. Bye-bye, sayonara, Mr. Soup. 3 gulps, that's gone.
You would have told me I lost my damn mind. Because you go home, your mama can make you that soup. $10 for soup? We have lost our damn minds out here.
I think we're getting to the breaking point where fast food employees are fed up and fast food prices are just getting out of control. It's 11 p.m. I just pulled up to a McDonald's, 24-hour McDonald's, by the way, because I was hungry. And they say they're closed. There's nobody in there. Mind you, this is a 24-hour McDonald's. I've been there before. The person on the intercom says that there's nobody there to serve any food. There's nobody there making any food. So either A, somebody quit, or B, they all just decided to leave. Been reading a lot about the fast food industry recently because these are things that just spark my curiosity. I like to read weird things. And not only is fast food getting more expensive, but people are no longer opting for the DoorDash option. They're actually willing to make the drive because delivery fees have just gotten out of control. In grocery stores...
Bro, I don't know about y'all, but these DoorDash fees be crazy. Loki, you want a jerk? We're talking about food so much, huh, bud? Yeah. I see you, big dog. I see you, big dog. Let's, maybe I'll... just kidding. You guys are weird, bro. You guys are weird. Loki, free? Sit. Shake. That's a good boy, yeah. Wait. Free. Good boy. Yeah, bro. Insane. We ordered DoorDash the other day because Cass is postpartum. We got the baby here. I haven't been leaving very much. I leave to go do basic things, but ordered DoorDash the other day, and bro, like we got just like some Italian food, like some pasta, and it was like $65. And the thing is with DoorDash, what they do is they get you good. So it'll be like $12 for the food. You're like, okay, cool, whatever. It's probably marked up $2 from what it actually is on the menu. Whatever, I'll take that. Cool, convenience fee, I get it. But then they do taxes, and then they do a delivery fee, and then they ask you to tip. I'm like, bro, at this point, like, what? I'm paying double the price for the food. And then what's even worse, though, is the people doing DoorDash aren't making no money either. They're really not making any money. I tip every time, but they're still not making no money. People have to DoorDash all day. That's why I say DoorDash, Uber, that stuff is good, but that's more of like supplemental income. I think too many people try to rely on that to be like a full-time gig. Like, oh, I can work whenever I want. I'll just do Uber Eats and DoorDash. I'm like, I mean, you'll make some coin. I used to do it when I lived in Austin, when I didn't have a full-time job and I was a musician. I would wake up really early in the mornings to get all like the early day rush of people that actually had jobs, which is where I picked up the CEO of a company one time, and he actually hired me later on, which is cool because I got a job, great. But that's when you pick up the working class people. You do it late at night, you pick up drunkards, people that are high, people that are drunk, people that are rambunctious, and they want to do stupid stuff in your car, vomit in your car, mess your car up, have muddy shoes. So I never drove at night because I also never tipped. I always drove really early in the morning. So I'd wake up at like 3 or 4 p.m. just wait for rides. That's when people go to the airport. That's when people are going to work. And then I'd work from maybe 4 a.m. to about noon, come home and relax. And then from, 1 to whatever, I would try to find other gigs. I was a hustler. I've always been a hustler though. I went to get my haircut the other day. Shout out to my freaking barber dog. But I went to get my haircut the other day, and I haven't got my haircut in maybe like 3 or 4 weeks. And I was just talking to my barber. He's like, well, so what's new with you, man? What's new? And I kind of told him the new endeavors that I'm doing. I'm like, well, I got the Connect With Me thing now. So like people can call me. My Facebook is expanding. If you guys don't follow me on Facebook, you absolutely should. I think we have like 115,000 people on Facebook. Basically, I take clips from the long form stuff and I put it on the Facebook. So the big highlights from the shows, if you don't get to watch them, you can always see them on Facebook. And then I also have a clips channel on YouTube if you want to see that as well. Levi Nichs clips. Anyways, but I was like, I'm doing that. I'm trying to get somebody to hire somebody to start working with my brand deals. I got a couple more guys doing clips for me. He's like, wow, man, you're really pushing the envelope. And it made me think, man, me every day to day, I feel like I'm not doing that much. But when you haven't talked to somebody in 3 to 4 weeks and then they're asking you what's new and you tell them, you're like, man, I really have been doing a lot. So I hope you guys are doing the same thing. I hope you're not doing the same thing you were doing a month ago, and I hope you've added a couple things, maybe tried to add a couple revenue streams, or maybe you got a new interest or a new hobby. But always try to seek change, man. It makes me feel so good when somebody else can realize that I'm doing something different. So let's get back to this.
We're starting to see trends of more people actually buying real food at the grocery store because economically it makes more sense to buy real food than it does to buy fast food. I'm going to date myself here, but I remember when it was 2017 summer, I was a freshman in college, and I went to McDonald's to buy a Big Mac, a 10-piece nugget, and a large fry, and probably a McFlurry. And I kid you not, that must not have been any more than $10 to $12.
Yeah,
and that's not including the deals that they have on McDonald's app, by the way. I've now seen people that are clocking the order time for ordering through a drive-through versus ordering through an app versus ordering through in person versus ordering by parking in one of the spots and having somebody bring it out to you. Studies have shown that it's taken longer for pickup orders done through the app with the discount codes, and it's also taken longer for orders when you park in the spot to have somebody walk it out to you. That's all. First one down. Thank you.
Okay, Big Mac meal, a Dasani, which is diabolical, large fry, 10-piece McNuggies. When did a 10-piece nugget become $7? Big Mac meal, $12? $20 for 2 things?
$20. Is it just me, or is like nobody going out to eat anymore? I'm a server and a bartender, and I feel like the money recently is just, it's not it. And I get it, everything's expensive. Nobody wants to go out to eat and pay for all that expensive ass shit. Restaurants are raising their prices. You don't want to tip us because you're poor.
Has Chipotle lost its mind? My son and I just got done at the gym with a workout. We went into Chipotle. We got 2 bowls and 2 drinks. And granted, we did get double meat, but we didn't get chips. We didn't get guac. $52.64 for 2 bowls and 2 drinks at Chipotle.
That's insane. Cass and I will go, and it's usually around $27 to $32, depending on if we get extra guac.
This used to be like $11 for a burrito bowl. I know I saw a story the other day about them on the news where the CEO was saying that their stock was down 15% because Gen Z wasn't eating out anymore. It's not because Gen Z's not eating out anymore. It's because you guys have lost your damn minds. Where you guys are charging people over $25 to get a burrito bowl of cheap Mexican food and a regular drink, not even a biggie drink. It's like a medium. Like, how in the world do you expect people to keep coming in when you've jacked your prices over 3 times what they've been just since the start of COVID? This is 100% your fault that your stock is down 15% because you guys have raised your prices way past the point where regular people are willing to pay them. Until your prices come down, your business is going to keep sinking. I don't know what they're thinking, but am I crazy?
This is so true though, because I feel like what's the average salary of an American? Average salary of an American by hour. Let's just look at the average hourly salary. Okay, an average hourly wage in the United States is around $36 for all private sector employees as of July 2025. Though figures can vary by source in the specific industry or job category, other sources report slightly different wages, such as $29 for hourly rates and a median hourly wage of $22. Let's just meet them in the middle. Let's just say $30. So, okay, $30 an hour salary. You're looking at 62 grand a year. So after taxes, I think they're breaking that down. Let's just see. After taxes, let's just see what they got here. Roughly between 3,600 to let's just say 4 grand a month. Okay, 4 grand a month, right? 4,000 a month. So you're telling me with 4 grand a month, just one person, they're supposed to be able to afford an apartment, because you ain't buying a house with 4 grand a month. You got to have a car. You got to put gas in that car. You got to have groceries. And you got to be able to maybe save a little bit. And then maybe an emergency fund. Something happened. You got sick. You have to buy medicine. And when I lump in groceries, I'm lumping in detergent, paper towels, toilet paper, towels, things you have to buy that are expensive that first time at least. How are people living on 4 grand a month? I'll tell you how they're doing it. They're having roommates until they're 35. That's what they're doing. That's what I had to do. I had roommates until I was like 27 years old, bro. I got out of college at 24 because it took me 6 years because I'm an idiot. Stupid. Dummy. I just wanted to take some victory laps and have a lot of fun in college, which I did. I did, because I was never going to go back because I'm too stupid. I was horrible. I'm not very smart, chat. I'm not very book smart, chat. I'm more street smart myself. My daughter, anyways, 4 grand a month. I don't know how people are doing it. Here's how they're doing it. They're living with people. They're having roommates. Like I said, I had roommates till I was 27 because I could not afford to live by myself. I was living in Austin. I was living in one of the most expensive cities at that time to live by yourself. God forbid you want to go out on the weekend. God forbid you want to go get a nice dinner. God forbid you want to try and date. I got a homie right now who is freshly single. He's just got a new apartment. His car's paid off. And he was dating for a bit. And then I asked him, we were on the game the other day. I was like, yo, bro, so how's your date? How's the dating life, bro? How's it going? He's like, man, I had to stop. I was like, why? He's like, that shit got expensive. He's like, going out to dinner, paying, girls want to order wine, cocktails. I got to like either pick them up or, he's like, it's expensive, dude. I got to pay for parking. He's like, between going to the city, driving to the city, paying for parking, paying for the meal, tipping. Like, he's like, I'm spending $150, $200 plus every time we go out, even if it's an okay restaurant, just a regular, like, because you want to go out, you want to be able to get a cocktail, oh, we'll get an appetizer, yeah, she'll get an entree, oh, we'll get dessert, you got to pay for park. It's just so expensive that he's like, bro, I got to take like about a month break just to be able to get back out in the dating market. I'm like, dad gum. In chat, are some of you guys going through that? I feel like people aren't paid enough to even date now. It really seems like people only have enough money to just live. Go to work, come home, go to sleep, do the same thing again. That's it. People don't, like, the inflation in America has gotten so bad that now people can't just work a job and live a good life. Whereas opposed to back in the day, you could have one man work at the post office and have 3 or 4 kids and go on 2 family vacations a year. Inflation chart from 1950 to today. Let's just see if there's something online I can try to find this. Let's see here. Something that's easy to read, because I be slow, boy. I be slow. God, some of these look difficult. Inflation rate. The value of $1 during the time. That's not really what I'm looking for. There was something that I saw on TikTok, but I never saved it. $100 in 2020 is worth $9.31 in 1950. Golly, that's crazy. That's insane. But that's what we're going through right now. Is people are expected to live alone. They're expected to work. And the thing is, most of these jobs don't want to pay. They're not even paying livable wages. So people are expected to work, but they're not even getting a livable wage. Like, they can't pay for everything that they need to pay for because companies don't even want to pay. It's sad.
95 cents. $52.95 for this bowl of pasta right here and this drink right here. I'm at Italy at Park MGM, and this bowl of pasta right here and this drink right here costs me $52.95. $52.95.
That's Six Flags and airport prices.
at Park MGM, and this pasta right here, and this drink right here.
A filet of fish sandwich. He's like, get me 2. So, whatever. I order 3 filet of fishes in a separate order because she wouldn't let me add it on to my Diet Coke order. Anyways, that's a whole nother story. It pissed me off. Pull around, order 3 filet of fishes, not the meal, just the sandwich. She clarified. She said, the sandwich or the meal? And I said, just the sandwich. And she said, 3 of them? I said, yes. Tell me why it was $17 for 3 filet of fishes.
Bro, them filet of fishes is this big. Filet of fishes is tiny, bro. They're not even big.
The ridiculous prices that we have at restaurants and fast food places. Yesterday, I had to go out of town to do a job for work, and we stopped for, I'd say maybe 15, 20 minutes because we had some time to kill. We stopped into a McDonald's. Now, if you guys have seen the newer models of McDonald's stores, they're all automated. Basically, nobody sits in the dining room.
Yep.
Nobody is up at the counter. And I had to ring a bell, like literally an old-fashioned, bells we used to have on our desks. That'll tell you how old I am. I had to ring a bell to get customer service because the computerized systems where you order your food, I went ahead and ordered food. And I went to go pay with cash instead of a card because I like to keep cash. And there was no way for me to use the machine that they had there. Like, it wasn't even functioning. And it looked like it was brand new. So I went up to the lady that was the manager there, and I said, ma'am, I can't figure out, I'm so sorry, but I can't figure out how to use your cash option on this machine. She walks over to the machine, and she punches some buttons and says, oh, just pay up at the counter. I don't want to mess with it. So I go to pay. You guys, 2 fries, a medium lemonade, and a large Diet Coke. $14. Seriously?
It's insane. And the thing is, for me, it's like this automated kiosks. Like, I remember growing up being like, oh, it's so nice to have a cashier. You get to talk to them. But now it's like all self-checkout. So I've got to go pick out my own groceries, and then I got to check them out myself. It's because it's way cheaper. They just have a person standing up at the front just waiting for you to steal. And if you steal enough, then they just arrest you. Like, I miss the good old days when there'd be somebody there to ring up my groceries and I could have a conversation with them. But now it's at every restaurant. Not every restaurant, but like fast food, like McDonald's, the one here, it's the same way. It has the kiosks. Nobody even stands at the front. You walk in, nobody greets you. Nobody says anything to you. And then they're all like in these industrial boxed buildings. They don't look cool anymore. The playpens are minimal. It's just, everything's bad now. Everything, like, I feel like such a freaking boomer when I say this. Like, it used to be better back in my day. But I feel like it really did. Like, I feel like it really did. I got to order at a kiosk. I got to be my own cashier. I got to be my own bagger. Like, I can't even get somebody to help bag my groceries. It doesn't, like, I'm overpaying for the groceries already, but now I got to bag them up and carry them out and then show the guy the receipt at the front, because if I don't, he's going to tackle me. I'll never understand that either. You go to Walmart and he's like, receipt. I'm like, here's the receipt. And then they just scan it and you walk out. It's like, bro, this is so stupid. This is so stupid. America, man. America. America is America-ing. You know what I mean? Ain't that right, Lokes? Damn. But I hope you guys enjoyed today's episode. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. It was good to have you guys out, man. Until next time. Peace.